Greetings. Someone named Dean here. I wanted to play some Penumbra Overture because this last week has been snowy. We were hit with a cold snap, I guess. Got up to negative 19 degrees and then started snowing. And I felt like playing a winter game or something with winter elements in it. And I thought of the Penumbra series. Now I'm having trouble running Penumbra Overture. I had it working earlier. It's not working. I'm gonna see if maybe by playing Black Plague it will work, which I know sounds really weird. Oh, the resolution is off on this one. Oh. Yeah, let's see. Hope that for some reason magically would fix it. Oh, right, I tried to uninstall it. Oh well. Well, Penumbra is a game that came out, oh, I don't know. I think 2007 maybe, maybe a bit before that. This game may contain content not appropriate for all ages or may not be appropriate for viewing at work. So, viewer discretion is advised. Let's view the page. So, it was at least released on Steam March 30th, 2007. It's done by Frictional Games. So, Frictional Games, you might know for developing the Amnesia series, which I feel like when that game came out and exploded in popularity because of all the Let's Plays, um, I think it redefined, well, horror games essentially and kind of helped explode that genre because after that game, so many of them came out. And Frictional Games also made Soma. And I've said this to a couple of my friends. If I've ever had a top 10 games uh, that I love well, I don't really have a ranking system for video games that were most impactful to me. Soma would be on that list. I don't know where. Maybe it's a subjective list. Maybe it could be 10th or first place. But okay, at least if it was if I had a 1 to 10 of my favorite narrative games, let's go with that, Soma would be up there on that list. But more on that later. Anyways, I actually appreciate Frictional games quite a lot. I remember reading about Penumbra before it came out and then and buying it and playing it and just being blown away with how creepy and strange it was. I almost think because Penumbra takes place around a more modern time frame, I feel like it might be a little bit more scarier atmospherically than say Amnesia. But of course, as the series has gone on for Amnesia, the games graphically got better. So, um, oh, I guess in terms of content warning, also, there's spiders. So if you don't like spiders, you may not like this game, and I don't think there's a way to get rid of them. Now, hopefully, all this talking will result in something because I really would like to play this game. Will it work? Ah, it's loading. Nice. There are things I need of you, things you may not understand and may not wish to do, but please do not make the same mistakes I did. My father, Howard, deserted me before I was born. I could claim the loss of my mother, and the letter I received after her funeral blinded me to what I had to do. It would be a lie. Human nature sealed my downfall. My name is Philip. If we are lucky, then by the time you receive this, I will be dead. If fate frowns, we all perish. So, Frictional Games. Yeah, the last time I played this game, I had a square monitor. Not, your typical rectangular monitor. I would have been playing it with 800 by 600 pixel, or whatever that resolution number would be. PI, I guess. Let's start a new game. We're going to do normal. I want to struggle a little bit, but I don't want to struggle too much and get frustrated. My story began in February, year
For
2000.
my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went, as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world renowned for two things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever take. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
Finally, we're almost docked. I better stow my gear. I may be far from home, but chances are I can still pick things up using left mouse, and I can take a closer look at things using right mouse. So, I'm not going to attempt to do an English accent. I can barely speak English as it is. Jake Daniels. Whoops. I blame it on the whiskey. So yeah, this is Penumbra Overture. I thought at the time it was a very beautiful game. Right off the bat, they have this hanging lantern at the perfect height for you to smash your face in, especially if the boat was swaying everywhere. You can grab things with left click, throw with right. And yeah, basically this would be the foundation of the Amnesia series. You can see a lot of its DNA in this game. Just Amnesia did it better. Well, at least the first one. That might be a topic for another day, and maybe a series I might revisit, depending. But for now, let's look at this game. So one thing I appreciated about this game when it first came out that I feel like you don't really see often, maybe in some other horror games, probably inspired by Penumbra Amnesia, is that when you interact with objects, you have to kind of, hold down the left mouse button, and you have to kind of interact with the object as you would with your mouse. So for example, I have this drawer here. To open it, I have to pull the mouse towards me. If for some reason I'm on an angle, pulling down does do it a little bit slower. But if I did it diagonally, in relation to how maybe my character is standing and how the drawer would open, it's faster. Then of course, if I'm over here, pulling up and down does nothing. I'd have to do left and right. It's simple, but it's nice. And it's something I appreciate because, well, you know, it's a little bit of an immersion to this world, and it feels pretty good. It's immersive. Same thing with the chest here. I can push up to open it. I can pull down. From the side, I guess I can do left and right. You can see it's slower, but it feels a bit faster if I actually did an arc, as if I was closing it myself. It's just a nice little touch, you know? Dearest Eric, just a quick note before you set sail and leave me once again. I've left you a little something to remember me by in the chest at the foot of your bed. I really don't know why you still only have one bed on board. Taking shifts because of it is no way to get your rest. But what does a fisherman's wife know of life at sea? I'll be praying every night for you to make the catch you need, so that you can come home early, or come to me safely, and soon. I apologize for my reading. It's late for me. Please don't be gone for 5 weeks like last time. I know I might nag sometimes, but I do love you, you know. I washed those overalls of yours. I know you'll get them covered in assorted fish parts in no time, but I still feel better knowing they've had a wash. Before I forget, Hendricksons in the village have asked me to see if you'll be coming by any trout, but I said they were mostly out of season. If you happen upon any, don't say anything. Stow them well in the ice, and I'll do something special with them to celebrate when you come home to me. The ship's captain deserves a little special treatment once in a while. Take care, my love. And for some reason, we're just taking his letter, which I'm sure has sentimental value. Whoops. Anyways. Yeah, you can kind of just interact and look with objects using the right click. Pretty odorous. Glad I'm getting out of here soon. They must eat and sleep and, well, do everything else in this one room for weeks at a time. Photo of the fisherman's wife. She's no Playboy bunny, but she looks loving and kind. Playboy poster. It's nice some things don't change no matter how far you are from home. It's a rickety wooden desk. I can get that drawer open if I just hold the interact button and drag with the mouse. Yep. Anyways, let's see here. Always good to have a notebook to jot down interesting information and reminders. Now, where's that emergency glow stick? Should still be in the locker. Keys in my inventory. It's like, oh, I can jump on you. I'm certain this map's a good decade or so out of date, while landmarks don't change much in Greenland. So I've got a pretty decent idea of where I'm heading. Oh, I guess I should have mentioned, when you're interacting with stuff, you can kind of, well, you can kind of stay stationary and then highlight things with it, like that. But anyways, batteries, some extra batteries to power my flashlight. Oh, there we go. Could come in handy if the torch runs out of batteries. I should be able to access it through my inventory or with the shortcut key G. That should be everything. I want to go before it gets dark. Yeah. As I stepped off the boat, setting out into the blizzard that had formed around me, I realized how utterly devoted I'd been to the discovery of my father's past. I had no idea what to expect. Soon enough, my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation or my spirit first, but I lost feeling in my extremities soon after, and knew hypothermia was setting in. I started looking for shelter. Well, to my child, if you ever want to know about my past, you can watch these videos. So cold. Don't know where I am. Need shelter soon. Yeah, this guy he is devoted. My entire head went numb a long time ago, but I could still hear the wind roaring past. Or is that some kind of animal? I didn't catch the last part there. If I click and hold the interact button, I should be able to about manage to pick up that rock. The cold's made me weak, but I can still throw things using the exam button when I'm carrying something. So basically I can hold... There we go, yeah. If I use the interact mode with R... Interesting. There we go. Frozen solid. Must break. Ice. There we go. Hope to God it's not frozen inside as well. So weak. But if I just use interact mode, I should be able to turn the wheel a bit easier. There we go. Kind of have to wind it up. Is that it? Yep. And yeah, if I do a wider swing, it's easier to open. Loading. My head. I can't believe I fell that far and survived. Although looking around, maybe I didn't. I didn't catch the rest of that. Yeah. It's nice to revisit an old game after so long. It's kind of like, I don't know, going down a stroll of a familiar street, or like maybe a mall you haven't been to in a very long time, if that makes any sense. A heavy looking wooden barrel. Could be anything inside of it. Yeah, this is kind of an unusual room, that's for sure. Empty boxes of ammunition. What is this place? Steel rod. And a flare. Now luckily things that you need light up or have a flicker. These shelves are as old as everything else around here. Could be over 50 years since anyone's been down here. This hammer's seen some action in its time. Let's see. I could swing this hammer if I hold left mouse. I can make a backswing by pulling the mouse right, and then following through by pushing left. The opposite works too. Pulling back, and then thrusting forward produces a stabbing motion. I reckon if I hold down right mouse after the backswing, I should still be able to look around. Let's set up some hotkeys. That'll be 1. This is already going to be F, G, N. I don't really know if I need the padlock. I don't remember. But it's interesting that you still have it. If I remember correctly, in terms of weapons, you only really get 3. And this game isn't designed around, well, combat. You can fight. Oddly enough, only in this one, in Black Plague and Requiem, you can't at all. But in this one, you can. I've actually defeated things while standing on a box or something. There we go. Oh, I apologize. That's my phone. Someone at my front door? Apparently, yes. I'll be right back. And we're back. I just wasn't expecting someone to be at my house so close to 9 p.m. It's not unusual. Everything's okay. They were just asking for help, I guess. Yeah. Anyways. Long story short, they needed a phone number for, I guess, a plumber for our complex that we live at, and we're wondering if we had it on hand. I guess they have a leak in their unit, so they were feeling particularly anxious about it, which is understandable. Anything involving water damage is extremely stressful. This hatch is seriously solid. It won't open by hand. Someone obviously wanted to keep people out or in. Oh, I could break it. Ah, yes. That's right. Now I do have that steel rod. Am I able to just jump and climb back in? No, not really. Maybe if I roll the barrel over. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's... Oh dear. Well, I give this game props. Kind of have to gain momentum there because of that lip. It definitely rolls certain ways better than me dragging it. Yeah, I guess physics-based puzzles were the trend of the time. Oh, this doesn't go anywhere else. Okay, well, guess we're going down. Steel rod. Okay, there we go. There we are. I don't know where this leads, or what's waiting for me, but unless I want to starve to death, it's my only option. Besides, maybe this place has something to do with my father. Whatever I was descending into, it was 100 feet below ground, protected by 2 solid metal hatches, located in a remote Arctic wilderness, and buried beneath the snow. I didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel something I hadn't felt since I was a child. I'd never given it much thought before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety nets, emergency services at the end of a phone line, health and safety in the workplace, friends, family, lovers, all there. If something goes wrong, part of a carefully designed structure to prevent all but the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in school, surrounded by a closing ring of older kids, knowing anyone that might help me, friends, parents, teachers, were too scared or too far away. I've jotted down a note, just in case. Notes. To-do list? The entrance to the cave has caved in. There must be another way out. There could be anything living down here. Heroics are for Hollywood actors and fairy tales. I'm not taking any chances. If I face off anything down here, I won't last a second. Caution and stealth are my only defenses now. If anyone or anything here hears me, I'd be best off staying low and out of sight until I know whether or not it's a threat. Crouching by pressing left control will give me the chance to hide in the shadows. I'll know I've got it right because of the blue tint to my vision. Plus, I should be quiet enough that I won't be heard unless something's right on top of me. Better remember to shut off any light sources though. My best bet is to hide for a couple seconds or so, perfectly still. That'll make me properly hidden. Yep, here we go. Off to a fantastic start. mean, I feel like the glow stick is probably one of the better light sources in this game. It doesn't reach far, but it's more... What's the word? It surrounds you. Over-encompassing? Nah, I don't know. Like I said, don't know English. Even though it's the only language I speak. So storage, office, explosives, workshop. And our location's right there. Yeah. This place must be old if they were still using paraffin lamps. Looks like there's still some juice left. I don't think I can drag that, but I can drag this. If I remember correctly, the last time I played this game, I was so anxious, I stood on a box and smacked a dog to death. Zombie dog, that is. Rotate objects. But that'll help. So in case I need to jump up on something. There. Oh no. I can just hide up here. Yeah, this game's taking me back. I'm appreciating the nostalgia. And you know, honestly, this was a game I always wanted to share with people. It's definitely not everyone's bag of tea. Reams of wiring. Ice white. It's a Zippo lighter, but it's empty. If this lighter wasn't empty, it'd be a handy thing to have. It's a crude representation of a scorched, writhing spider. Lighter plus fuel equals dead spider. The work of either a child or a deranged mind. This shows some kind of trapdoor, but I can't see where it would be. Lots of paper boxes with rusty nails. Got some cans of something in here though, at least. It's locked. Locked from the other side. Does that mean there's someone still inside? I can hear chattering. Thank God, maybe I can get some answers. Why won't he open the door? I've jotted a note down just in case. I actually don't quite remember all the solutions in this game. Oh, there we go. Well, there's a box. gotta empty the box of the weights. A storage crate for transporting ore, I suppose. There's a draft coming from the base. Yeah, there we go. Painkillers. Batteries. Ugh, what the hell? What just happened? I don't know if that was such a good idea. You know, it's a different era of gaming. It looks like someone removed the ladder from these hooks with a pretty blunt saw. Spiders? There's spiders down here. Oh great, whispering. Yep. It looks as if this basement caved in some years ago. Something's tunneled through here more recently, though. What sort of creature makes these markings? Spiders in small places. I don't know if I can go through with this. I think I can hear the pitter-patter of tiny feet. Oh, awesome. Autosave? Cool. I'm gonna read that later. Try old dust bags. A horrible sight. Luckily it's mummified or else the smell would have been awful. Oh, there's a ladder. I haven't found what I was looking for. Oh, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're not trying to find the truth about your missing father. That steam could blister flesh from the bone in an instant. Ouch. I think we have 50-year-old painkillers. Like I said, I'll read it later. If it weren't for the size of these pieces, I would say it looks like eggshells. Ouch. Doing so good at baiting all that steam. Finally, this must be all that's left of the basement storage. That lock looks rather worse for wear. Hint. Is there something to smash it with? That I'm missing. Let's see here. Well, if this game is going to have mercy, I won't have to worry about anything until, I won't have to worry about anything until I get a key item. And then something will chase me. There was a rock down here the whole time. Unfortunately, when I play these horror video games, sometimes I get really, really quiet. I guess it kind of makes me feel like I'm not... Oh my... Cool. Let's try that again, shall we? See where we're at. So I think we want to attach the ladder beforehand. We don't have to deal with spiders. My mistake is that I didn't throw the rock through the steam, because it's definitely slowing me down to carry it. So let's go like that. We can read these all at once. So I'll turn around. I do appreciate these physics-based puzzles, though. Yeah, my day was good today. Well, today I had to have a coworker grab me from my home and drive me in his truck because of the weather. Um, Essentially, I had to leave my vehicle at my place yesterday. Well, fortunately, I guess I got to start. Oh dear. Ouch. Back my headset. Well, if you're still here for some reason, despite my invigorating commentary, well, I appreciate you for being here. Penumbra is a great game. It's flawed. It's a little janky. But it would result in Amnesia and later Soma, and I'm incredibly thankful for that. I feel like it's a game that would be worthy of a remaster. Maybe with some quality of life improvements. I wouldn't mind if they kept the ability to at least fight something as useless as it may be. Because I always appreciate when a game at least lets you have a little bit of, pushback against enemies. Rather than running as your only option. This game allows you to at least smack them with a hammer or whatever other objects you get. Which I think the hammer actually does the most. No, there's another thing you get. I won't spoil it quite yet, but... yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you move faster going forward in this game, and strafing is a little bit slower. So Let's try to be as quick as possible here. Here we go. Let's grab this note. Okay. Let's see here. There we go. Hopefully I get the option to turn off the steam. Okay, there we go. All right. Was I wrong? Oh my goodness. I am silly. I am so silly. I forgot I had a hammer. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Because I guess until Amnesia the Bunker, you didn't really have a weapon to fight back with. From what I can remember out of the series, anyways. A lighter refill canister. Ah, of course. Wide circles. That take care of the steam. Perfect. Batteries. Okay. Here we go. Expecting something to happen. Any second now. Let's see. All right, Mr. Spiders, come on out. Come on out. Maybe we don't worry about them quite yet. I think someone's been dragged through there. Or here. I've never seen so much blood before. That was my best chance to get some answers. Who else is still down here? Just in case. Ease my conscience. And let's save our game using this weird device. Love the skittering sounds. That's great. Someone's tongue. It's a long tongue. The largest spider I've ever seen, with its gut carved open. It looks like it's been carved into the wood with a knife. Well, at least this one's a little more positive, although I'd question its motivation. Last thing written about a madman. Years and years of reports, logs, and files, just left here to gather dust. There's probably a century of life and death right here at my feet. Right. I think there's the implication that whoever was here cut their tongue out. I'm sure it'll say in the notes. I just, at least he kept it. This hole isn't large enough for a man. Not that I'd go anywhere near it, even if it was. What burrowed out this tunnel? Oh, beef jerky. Huh. Wait. Oh, I remember what I do with this. Okay, let's read those journals. And then I think we'll save and then resume this next time. Okay. All right, let's look at our notes. Scientific findings 1. I begin this record still in the hope that the great work we have undertaken here might one day be of scientific value, despite the chaos which has ensued in the 6 hours previous. My aim is to remain secure until what help there may be arrives, and to that end I have barricaded myself into a small workshop area in the abandoned part of the mine. I hope that the meager food rations here will keep me alive, and that those I hide from will not jeopardize that. Perhaps this mine really is cursed. It's almost precisely 30 years since the incident that brought us here, and now 30 years on, fate has struck again. So, a theming about 30 years, you know? Your character's father disappeared 30 years ago, and they're having an issue relating to another issue that happened 30 years ago. Day 3. I forecasted that today the rescue crews would arrive, but I can only hypothesize that they would be unaware of my location and hence busy themselves evacuating the other survivors. If they have not arrived by tomorrow, I will go out in search of them. Day 6. My first mistake was to make assumptions on the matter of rescue. My second mistake was to make assumptions on the safety of this mine. My third mistake was to act on both those assumptions in going outside of my safe haven. My best estimate is that I left the workshop where I was secured about 2 days ago in search of aid, and I have only found danger. Found only danger. I approached the old living quarters, but curiously, I could find no sign of life whatsoever. I returned to what I thought was the direction from which I had come, but soon found myself in an unfamiliar locale. Confused but focused, I attempted to make my way home, but found myself threatened by some species of feral creature, which seems to have made this old mine its home. Although the specimen bore significant interest to me, I chose to retreat, only to find myself outmaneuvered and outnumbered by the beasts. I turned and ran, injuring my ankle in the process, which I believe now is most likely a sprain rather than a fracture. For some time I cowered and fled into the dark, but a few hours ago I discovered a door leading to a smaller, disused part of the mine, the key for which I still have in my pocket. Within that area I discovered this storeroom, and I think it should keep me safe for some time. This place is a maze. My lesson learned. I will not venture out again until I am certain the area is safe. Day 19. Rescue seems increasingly unrealistic. Supplies diminishing. Lots of spiders in this place. I do not like spiders. Day 34. I caught one of the accursed 8-legged beasts nestling in my open mouth when I woke up this morning. To my surprise, I swallowed it. It's not so much the act of swallowing which concerns me, but the genus of arachnid. It would be unlikely that a cave-dwelling spider would be venomous to any significant degree, but the possibility troubles me all the same. Day 35. Any known venom would have affected me by now, and so today is the first minor cause for celebration I've had since the incident. By lucky coincidence, this revelation also means I have discovered a virtually inexhaustible supply of nutrition. I intend to venture into the basement beneath the storeroom in the name of science to discover more about these creatures' natural habitat. Day 50. For 4 days now, I have been surviving solely off the quite considerable substance provided by the spiders. For some time, I was struggling to gather enough of the crunchy little morsels. However, Lady Luck smiled on me once more when the batteries in my torch died, and I made a second life-saving findings. The creature's natural habitat is the dark. With my light now diminished, I need only lie still for a few minutes, and I will have attracted enough of the beasts for a rather hearty meal. Ah, that's awful. Gross. I think that's also a gameplay hint. They're afraid of light? Maybe. I don't know. Day 71. My early assumptions of the benign nature of my cellmates may have been made in error. After a careful autopsy, I'm concerned that there may be a small volume of natural chemicals stored in the stomach which, if ingested regularly over a period of time, may become psychotropic or even lethal. My only real chance is to break out of here and raid any stashes of supplies I can find. However, the evidence against such a move is insurmountable. I have no source of light. I swore to myself I wouldn't leave until I heard human voices outside. Spiders are so tasty. Day 100. From the marks I have been making on the walls and my scribbled diary entries, which, in the dark, may amount to an illegible scrawl, today is the 100th day of my new life. Over the past month, my edible friends have become more and more aggressive and have swelled in number and size. Whether or not this is a result of my plundering their ecosystem, I am unsure. However, at this rate of growth, they will soon be too large to crawl through the gaps in the wall. For all I know, I could only be seeing the tip of the iceberg. If all fails and I'm never recovered, I hope at least my study of, and indeed involvement with, these fascinating creatures will one day be regarded as an important point in natural history. The greatest names in modern science got there more through fluke than talent. It appears that this rule has extended itself to my discovery of this delicious new species. I only pray that the second rule deems my breakthrough too insignificant, for all great discoveries tend to consume their inventor. Spider Haters Note, Day 200. It has been some time since I recorded any findings in relation to the spiders with whom I shared my existence for the past 8 months, partially due to my enforced retreat from their basement territory. Not too long ago, their behavior became overtly aggressive, and so I have attempted to barricade the main entrance to their lair and secured myself within one of the smaller rooms above it, the only one with an operational door lock. The other reason is that I have been recovering from a minor operation which I was forced to conduct myself without the aid of anesthetic. Even if I did not have any anesthetic or surgical tools, I couldn't afford to be less than diligent in my work. So anesthetic was out. Surgical tools are all well and good, but although it may be becoming old and rusty, I still trust my penknife to do the job just as well. The procedure was elementary enough, a simple amputation of a non-vital organ. I began to notice a thick, glue-like substance forming on my tongue and was forced to accept that it had become infected through constant toxin ingestion. Day 300. Another century of days comes and goes. It seems like so long since I escaped here. At some stage since my last entry, I attempted to return from whence I came. That from which I originally was fleeing seems a fate far worse than the one I face now. However, in the time since I arrived from the larger mine system, a cave-in has occurred, blocking any further progress. I was forced to return and accept whatever end life has in store for me. I still hear my aggressive little friends scratching on the door to my cell. Wow. And then I guess they killed him shortly before we got here. That sucks. Okay, well. Hey, we're almost at an hour. Surprisingly, I wasn't expecting to play this long, but well, here we are. Well, I think we'll wrap it up. I'm someone named Dean. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I don't know how to close this out. But in case you're still here and wondering who I am, I don't know, I'm Dean. I just started doing this thing maybe a week or two ago. At the time of this video, I haven't uploaded any videos. I'm just kind of leveling up and practicing and trying to get the confidence and finding out what my voice is. Finding out what games I want to share with people. I know that sounds unusual, but we all have a voice when we are with our family, with our friends, our workplace. And I guess I'm just trying to work on my tone for what this is. I have to keep in mind that, maybe one day my kid's going to watch these videos. So I'm going to try to be polite and not swear, which is why I have this button here. And, yeah. And maybe, you know what, in the next video, I will talk about maybe more about my history with this game and why I appreciate it for what it is. But anyways, you take care of yourself, you have a good night, and, well, I'll see you next time. Just watch out for those nasty little spiders, right?